need to know is that we're holding on. We rise up from the dust and clean my throat.
What's up everyone? So since the festival seasons are near, you might be wondering that if I eat a lot of sweets and sugary products, I might get fat. So to give a solution to this problem, I'm making this video which will help you to strategically plan your sugar and sweet intake without hampering your progress in terms of fat loss or muscle building. So these strategies would be applicable for everyone who has a fat percentage ranging from 11 to 12 or greater than that in case of the males, or 17 to 18% or greater than that in case of the females. If you are below this fat percentage, then you have to be very conscious with your calories, and if you are having sweet products on a daily basis, then it will be difficult for you to sustain that fat percentage. But even with the fat percentage of around 12 to 10 or 11, you will have a good physique and you will also be able to see your abs. You can also see the definition of my muscles, wherein I lie at a fat percentage range of 11 to 12% all the year round. Now let's dive into the strategy which I have to discuss here. But before we start, you need to learn some of the basic terms which will be necessary for you to understand this video properly. So the first term here is the maintenance calorie. So this is the calorie range which will help you to maintain your weight. So if you are having your food in this range, then you are neither increasing your weight nor decreasing your weight. You're only maintaining your weight. So the overall calories from the food which you eat, which will allow you to maintain your weight, is your maintenance calorie. So to find the maintenance calorie, you can either log the calories of every food on a week by week basis and test whether your weight is increasing or not after a week. So if your weight is increasing, then you can assume that you are in calorie surplus, that's why your weight is increasing. And if your weight is decreasing, then you might assume that you are in a calorie deficit. So you have to just manipulate your calories and then get to know about your maintenance calorie. The other approach to find your maintenance calorie is that you can directly feed your some of the body stats into the online calculator and get to know about your approximate maintenance calorie. So this would be a good starting point to at least start without knowing your maintenance calorie and without tracking the foods which you are eating on a daily basis. Once you got to know about your maintenance calorie, then depending upon your goal, you can either move on to a calorie surplus or calorie deficit. Now let's see how we can achieve your target calorie goal using a balanced meal plan. So a good starting point would be 30% protein, 35% carbs and 35% fat. Now to achieve this macronutrient ratio without tracking your food on a daily basis, it will be better if you divide your plate into certain portions, which I'm going to discuss here. So the first quarter of the plate would include the carbohydrates, that is your rice, roti and other normal stuff which we eat on a larger quantity in the Indian meals. And the remaining portion would be divided into two. First is the fibrous carbs, which is the vegetables and the fruits, and other is the protein, which is the lean source of protein. So all the food which contains higher amount of protein as compared to the carbs and fat will be included in this list. So once you divide the plate accordingly and track your calories for at least 1 week, then you will get an approximate idea on how much to eat and how much portions you should add into your plate accordingly. So this will make you a bit easier to follow the meal plan for a lifetime without just tracking the food. So now if you have tracked your calories for some time and if you kept your portions right, then it will be easier for you to continue with this meal plan without tracking the foods on a daily basis. Now we will be assuming that you are following this balanced meal plan according to the portions that I have given earlier. Then what will happen when you start eating sweets? There will be two cases which will arise here. So in this first case, you will be keeping the portions of the carbohydrates, fats, proteins constant, and you will be adding the sweets on the top of that. So obviously you will be eating more calories than what you are eating currently as you are adding sweets on to that, and since the sweets are very high in calories, so you might as well move on to a calorie surplus. So this will cause some trouble and it is possible that you will gain weight as well. So the second case would be such that you will be adding sweets into your normal portion of the meals which you are having currently, and you are not compromising on your starchy carbs. So you are having your rice and other stuff similar to the one which you are having earlier without adding sweets, but now as the calories have spiked up, so you are compromising on the proteins and fibrous carbs. Since the Indian meals are dominant with the starchy carbs, we never tend to reduce the starchy carbs, but instead we start reducing the fibrous carbs, which is the vegetables and the protein portions. So this will affect your muscle building capacity because you are reducing the protein portion, and this will also affect in the fat loss journey because the proteins are necessary for retaining the muscles as well, and the muscles are metabolically more active. So you will be burning more calories at rest if you are retaining those muscles as you are adding these sweets into your diet. So to counteract both these cases, what you can do is you have to increase your physical activity. So the physical activity can be increased by like 200 to 300 calories depending upon how much sweets you are adding to your daily meals. So this will allow you to get back into calorie maintenance or calorie deficit depending upon your goal. But I won't say that this would be the best approach in terms of muscle building because your weight might be constant since you added the physical activity and came back into a calorie deficit or calorie maintenance, but your protein portions are still compromised, and since your physical activity has been increased, so the protein portions will also change. So this won't be a best approach to follow. Now let's see the best approach which will help us to add the sweets and the sugary products without hampering our progress. But before we start looking into the best approach, let's see what ingredients are used while making the common Indian sweets. So if you take a closer look into the Indian sweets, they generally consist of the milk, sugar and other flours, which makes it a rich source of starchy carbs and fats. So you have to make some conscious choices while eating the sweets, as it will spike up your starchy carbs and fat portions. And if you want the details on the calories present in the common Indian sweets, then I have written a blog on my site. You can check out the link in the description. This will help you to make some smarter choices while picking up the sweets. So you can go for the sweets which are lower in calories at a higher amount and the sweets which are higher in calories at a lower amount. This will help us to reduce our overall calorie intake. So with this approach, the first step would be to choose the sweets smartly. So you have to choose the sweets which are lower in the calories, so your overall starchy carbs and fat portion won't spike up much. And the second strategy would be to not compromise on our protein and fibrous carb portion. Since we are adding sweets, we are increasing the portion of the starchy carbs and fats here. So if you reduce the proteins and fibrous carbs, it won't be much beneficial for you. Instead, you should start reducing the portion of the starchy carbs and fats which you are getting from the food except from the sweets and the other sugary products. And the third step would be that you should never eat these sweet and sweet products on an empty stomach or at the time when you are completely hungry, because these sweet products are generally made from starchy carbs and fat, which is less satiating, which means that you can eat them a lot without even realizing that you are getting filled up, but your overall calorie will shoot up at a very high rate. So this will hamper your overall calories which you are eating right now for achieving your goal. And the fourth step is that you should have the sweets and the sweet products after having some proteins and fibrous carbs. Because these proteins and fibrous carbs are more satiating, it will keep you filled up, and there is a chances that you will indulge into less amount of these sweets and your overall calories might be reduced. So these were the 4 steps which will allow you to add sweets into your daily meals without hampering your progress at the gym. And this will also not change the portions of the macronutrients which we had discussed earlier, which is allowing us to stay in a balanced macronutrient ratio of 30% protein, 35% carbs and 35% of the fats. So give this strategy a try and let me know in the comment below. And if you found this information valuable, then like this video, share with everyone and subscribe to my channel for more such informative videos on workout and nutrition. And if you wish to train with us, then check out TheSuppleStrength.com, where we provide evidence-based nutrition as well as workout coaching to enhance human performance. So we will meet in the next video. Till then, stay supple, stay strong.